So you've probably been there, right? You ask an AI to whip up a landing page. You give it this brilliant idea, and what you get back is, well, it's fine. It's a website, technically, but it's just so generic, so uninspired. It basically screams, I was made by an AI. If that sounds familiar, then you're in the right place, because we're about to uncover the secret to fixing it for good. Okay, look at this. On the left, you've got what I call AI slop. On the right, a design that looks like a pro actually built it. And here's the crazy part. Both of these were made by the exact same AI. The only thing that changed were the words used in the prompt. That's the secret we're going to unpack today. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll nail down exactly what this AI slop problem is. Then we'll get into the real reason it's happening, something we'll call the vocabulary bottleneck. After that, I'm going to introduce you to your new secret weapon, show you exactly how to use it with a practical workflow, and finally, we'll talk about the one thing that still makes humans absolutely essential in all of this. All right, section 1. Let's really dig into this problem we're all seeing. Why is it that so many designs coming out of AI tools have that same predictable and, let's be honest, kind of boring look? This quote from Paul Bakaus, who's worked on huge projects at Google, really gets to the heart of it. He argues the problem isn't the AI at all, it's us. We're asking for great design, but we don't have the specific words to tell the AI what great actually looks and feels like. And this is what that actually looks like. I mean, does any of this ring a bell? That interfont that's everywhere, the purple gradients, the endless cards inside of other cards. These are the cliches of AI design. The AI just defaults to this stuff because it learned from a giant pile of average generic templates. If you don't give it better instructions, it's just going to give you back the boring average. Which brings us to our next section, and this is really the main idea of this whole explainer. The AI is way more capable than we think. We're the ones holding it back with our vague and fuzzy language. Let's talk about color. You ask for nice colors, you're probably going to get some boring gray. But if you ask for OKLC tinted neutrals with a warm base hue, you get a sophisticated professional palette. Now, that sounds super technical, I know, but all it really means is you're telling the AI to use a modern color system that's great at creating subtle, natural-looking tones. One prompt gets you slop, the other gets you a system. And it is the exact same story with typography. Use good text gets you, 16-pixel Arial? But asking for a fluid type scale with proper vertical rhythm gives you this beautiful, responsive text hierarchy that just feels right and is easy to read. Vertical rhythm is just a fancy way to say the spacing between the lines is consistent and looks good. You don't have to be a designer to use these terms, you just need to know they're out there. And finally, spacing. Add some padding. That leads to completely random, arbitrary values all over the place. But if you ask for an 8-pixel baseline grid, you get a deliberate, consistent spacing system that makes the whole layout feel structured and intentional. It's the difference between a cluttered mess and total clarity. So here's the bottom line. The AI already knows how to do all of this amazing stuff. The capability has been there the whole time. The real bottleneck is us. It's the gap between what we want in our head and what we can actually type into the prompt. We just need to learn how to speak the language of design. Which, of course, brings us to the solution. How do you get this magical vocabulary if you're not a professional designer? Well, let me introduce you to a tool designed to solve that exact problem, Impeccable. So what exactly is Impeccable? It's not another library of buttons and drop-downs. The best way to think about it is like having a professional design consultant whispering in the AI's ear on your behalf. It's a vocabulary layer that translates your simple goals into the expert language the AI needs to do its best work. It's basically years of design wisdom all distilled into simple commands. And the way it works is through these dead simple slash commands. So instead of trying to remember all those complicated terms, you just solve problems. Need to check the quality? Just type /audit. Want a better color scheme? /colorize. Think that design is too safe? /bolder. They're like little magic words that tell the AI exactly what to do. Now, this is probably the most clever part of the whole thing. Impeccable also uses what are called anti-patterns. These are specific instructions that tell the AI what not to do. So by saying, don't use the interfonts or no pure black text, you actually force the AI to break out of its lazy default habits. It pushes it to make more interesting, more original choices. It's a negative constraint that creates a much more positive result. It's brilliant. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world? Let's walk through a super simple practical workflow that anyone, especially, say, a marketer trying to build a high-quality landing page, can start using immediately. It's really just a simple 4-step loop. First, you add the Impeccable skill to your AI tool. Second, you just describe the page you want in plain English, just like you normally would. Third, you run the /audit command. This gives you back a quality score and a simple checklist of what needs to be fixed. And finally, you just use the other commands like /polish and /colorize to go down that list and fix the issues one by one. It's a really straightforward, iterative process. And the big question, does it actually work? Well, according to third-party benchmarks, it absolutely does. This chart here shows the average design quality score for a baseline AI page versus one that's been refined with Impeccable. I mean, that jump in quality is not subtle at all. To put a hard number on it, that's a 1.59 times improvement. And let's remember, this isn't because we upgraded the AI model or anything like that. This is purely from injecting the right vocabulary into the prompt. The power was there all along. We just didn't know how to ask for it. So for our last section, let's zoom out a bit and put all this into a bigger context. We've got this powerful new tool, but what does that really mean for the future of creating great work? This quote says it all. Tools like Impeccable are incredible. They give you massive leverage. They dramatically lower the barrier to creating something that is technically excellent. But what they don't give you is taste, your unique vision, your point of view, your sense of what looks good. That is the great differentiator. The tool can amplify your taste, but it can never, ever replace it. A really helpful way to think about this is like a 3-layer stack. At the bottom, you have those foundation AI models that generate code and images. But on top of that, you need what's called a skills layer. And this is the part most people are missing. This is where tools like Impeccable live. They're like a quality control layer that translates your creative ideas into professional-grade results. And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. We've just seen how a simple vocabulary layer can unlock expert-level design for pretty much anyone. So what other complex fields, like back-end architecture, API design, maybe even security analysis, are just one vocabulary layer away from being unlocked for all of us? The possibilities there are pretty mind-blowing to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.